What's up everyone? It's your girl Nelly back again with another freaking video. If you're new here, make sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. Please subscribe if you haven't. To all the returning subscribers, thank you. I see you and I appreciate you. As you have seen by the title of this video, I am going to be going through my Epik interview. Not one, but two of them. How it went, the questions I was asked, and actually why I'm still in South Africa, having passed both interviews. So yeah, let's get into it. So how my interviews went. So the first one happened last year, which was 2020. No? Yes, 2020. To be honest with you, it was nerve-wracking. I'm sure if you've stumbled across many other Epik interview videos, that's like the common thing you hear. It is nerve-wracking more because you don't know what you're going to be asked, and some interviewers have a poker face, some are bubbly, and there's a whole stigma as to how it's so difficult to pass the Epik interview. So you go there obviously nervous as hell, not knowing what to expect. But my first interview went pretty well. It was also very quick. Although my interviewer had a poker face, she hardly laughed, she hardly smiled, but I tried to make her laugh. Try by all means, but make sure that you are your natural self. Don't pretend to be someone you're not, because they can pick that up, and once they do, it's not gonna go well. So make sure to remain yourself throughout the interview so that you also become comfortable as the interview is going. So the reason why I had to do it the second time around, so the first time I passed the interview, I got my results from my recruiter maybe like 2 days or a day after the interview, late afternoon though. My interview was in the morning on a Thursday if I'm not mistaken. Then I received my results Friday afternoon around like 4 p.m. I actually remember very vividly because I was chilling on the couch, Bae was working, and the results came through via email. I literally forgot that he was working, was on a call with the client. I literally screamed. That's how excited I was because I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I was 50-50 about it, to be honest with you. But it went well. They liked me. Everything was good. I didn't even have to fix anything from my application. Everything was good. Cool. So I sent through all my documents that my recruiter had asked for. Literally months later. So this happened in November, December, January, February, March. No, end of Feb. Once I had sent through my documents, police clearance, reference letters, literally everything they had asked for. Once I had sent that through, they told me that unfortunately I am under the list of people who will not be coming to South Korea anymore because of the whole visa situation that was happening that side. So they weren't releasing any visas anymore, and because I had not received my placement date, I fell under the people who would have to reapply and go through the whole application like I did before. To be honest with you, I was really hacked, more especially because I literally passed everything, sent through everything. I was literally waiting for my date. That's all. I was waiting for my date as to when I'd have to fly out. So, and I was hacked by the fact that I had sent through all my documents. It's money. It's money. It's not cheap. I think I spent like 600 or 800 through Postnet, and I think they use DHL. And the annoying part is that I sent my documents twice the first time because I think there was just a miscommunication between me and my recruiter. There's something I had not understood that she said, and I sent through a copy of my PCC, police clearance certificate. So they wanted the original. I was like, damn it, man. So I had to send through the original. Regardless of how thick, how thin the document is, it's the same price. So I literally spent like I don't remember if it was 600 or 800, but between that, you can Google it. I spent over $1,000 for one application. Cool. And then the email came. I was hacked. I was despondent. Like, everything was just not going well. I was like, you know what? It's okay. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe I was supposed to stay and like, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. But maybe I was supposed to stay throughout 2021 and maybe try again the next year. Cool. Thank God to my supportive family, friends, and boyfriend. More especially my family and my boyfriend. He really encouraged me to not be despondent, not give up. And I definitely, I don't know, like, I was encouraged and motivated again. And so I went through the whole application again. This is now in 2021 Feb. Yeah, when they opened the applications for the fall. Yeah, for the fall season. Fall intake. Yeah, something like that. I applied again. Great. Response was even quicker. Got my interview date, did my interview the second time around. With the second time, my interviewer was more bubbly than the first one. She was great. Not that the first one wasn't. Obviously, they're not going to be the same. They're not the same person. But it was more fun to have the interview with the second one because I'm quite of a clown. Yeah. So, yeah. But she got me when she asked me to pretend as if she was a student and I was teaching like a whole class something. She randomly threw me a topic and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But yeah, anyways, that was my whole experience. I'm gonna get to why I'm still in SA the second time around. But so let's get to my questions. So these are the questions they asked me, and it was more or less the same with both interviews because it's more especially with the second one, it was really quick because she knew that I passed my first interview. So it was like just following protocol. That's why the second interview had taken place. It was just literally following the steps of the Epik Institute. I had to go through another interview, and it only rang afterwards that she had already made a decision that she was going to take me regardless because I had passed the first time. But anyway, the first question they asked, not first, but one of the questions they asked me was, why South Korea out of all the Asian countries? So you're obviously gonna explain why you want to be in South Korea and not China or anywhere else in Asia. I mentioned how I like the educational system. It's very different versus China. Obviously, you're gonna have to do your research as to how it's different. How people in Korea are so kind and polite, family orientated, just to name a few. The second one was, what is your teaching philosophy? So obviously how you respond here needs to be the same as what you wrote on your application. So there's a part where they're going to ask you your teaching philosophy, why South Korea, and there's 3. I think it's the cultural difference or something like that. But yeah, they asked what is my teaching philosophy, and I answered by saying providing a safe and comfortable learning environment for my students, utilizing tools and resources to generate my classroom strives, just to name a few. What else? yeah, so you're just gonna mention things that, like, your teaching philosophy, honestly. The next question is, what do you know about Korean culture? So this is also where the research comes through, because you can't just go within the interview not knowing anything about South Korea. So I did my research, a lot of it. Like, I spent a lot of nights just Googling, watching Korean movies, watching Korean TV, just reading what's written off the internet about South Korea. Not North, South. And I just mentioned that tipping is not advisable in South Korea versus how we tip in South Africa. Literally, we tip for everything. You could park here and give the guy money, and then move 2 spaces up, give another guy money. So we literally tip for everything, but there it's not a thing. Do not do it. Also, not showing your cleavage, it's not a thing. Don't do it. It's seen as disrespectful. But I've noticed that now they're really evolving and moving more towards how North America is. You know, they're literally following a lot of their practices and norms now. So it's becoming a thing, but it's still a bit taboo. The next question is, how do you deal with the naughty kid? So I literally imagined myself in class and how my teachers would discipline us, and that's literally how I answered it. So you would obviously you need to, it depends what grade you're going to be teaching, so you need to bear that in mind. But because I was aiming for primary school students, like the younger foundation phase, I pictured myself then as a student, and I spoke about utilizing merit and demerit systems, because we were so I don't know, that's like did the trick, hey? And making them write out, I will not be naughty in class. Yeah, I was part of that era that we did that a lot. So I spoke about things like that, and obviously not giving them a gold star. You can literally think of anything. If you have a system in your classroom whereby they have a free period, you take that away. Something like that. You'll figure it out. I don't know. But that's how I answered it. And the next question is, how you deal with students who are in different levels. If you do your TEFL certificate, this is also part, well, literally most of them, because even the how do you deal with the naughty kid, it's part of the classroom management section of the whole course. And let's see, teaching philosophy. In a way, I remember I had to write an essay about something similar to different teaching philosophies and stuff like that. But like, yeah, I threw a sentence or two within my application when I was doing that essay part of it. So if you do the certificate, it really helps when it comes to the interview. Not that it's something I'm encouraging people to do, but with Epik, you do not get a chance to go there if you don't have a TEFL certificate, or if you don't have like a teaching degree or diploma. If you don't have a teaching degree or diploma, you have to have a TEFL certificate. So which is what I did, because I don't have a teaching degree nor diploma. But when it came to how do you deal with students in different levels, I spoke about allowing advanced students to guide the lower level students and showing them what they're struggling with, because they feel better if someone their age or their peer shows them, versus you in front of the class as a teacher pointing them out, saying, look Basi, look Jeffrey, this is how you do it. It doesn't feel great. I remember when I was a student, when teachers started doing that, it somehow makes you look dumb even though you're not. So yeah, allowing the advanced students to guide them is what I spoke about. Grouping them differently, so having your middle, lower and higher level students in one group really helps, because the higher level can also show the lower level, the advanced level can show the middle level can show the lower level, And there's something a lower level student can be good in that the other 2 level students aren't. So it really helps like grouping them differently, because they get to show one another where they're lacking. The next question is, how has your degree prepared you for teaching? So obviously I can't say this because we don't have the same degrees, but with regards to my degree, because I have a degree in motion picture medium, I spoke about pictures, speaking in front of a large group. That really prepared me to how I would be in class. Let me explain further. So when it came to, I said my degree prepared me in terms of me having to constantly pitch in front of a large group of people. We constantly had to pitch like our ideas so that our crew is green lit and we'd be able to shoot as a way to pass the semester. We didn't have semesters, we worked with terms, but like we had to be green lit. So that's really, and they would ask questions, like people would ask questions, the panel would ask questions as to why we're choosing this route versus this route, and you'd have to be able to respond on the spot. So it prepared me to like literally be confident, because I did not like, I still don't, but I did not like speaking in front of people. Like I will gladly do the pre-production of the work. I will do the research, have sleepless nights where I'm gathering information, or like the whole PowerPoint. I will gladly do it, but having to speak in front of the panel or like people, it terrified me, because I felt like, damn, what if they ask me something I know nothing about? It's gonna make me look dumb or unprepared, and I hate that. So it really helped me though, because once we got to 3rd year, I was more comfortable versus how I was in 1st year. Yeah, and like speaking in front of a group of people, which is the same thing. I also spoke about preparing PowerPoint presentations, which is something you'd obviously have to sometimes do when it comes to teaching your students. You would have to prepare like something, I don't know, whether it be a game or just a classroom activity. You have to like prepare something. So my degree prepared me in such a way of being prepared for my lessons. You get? Constantly being prepared for my lessons, because you have to pre-production is great. So I was confident when it came to that. And you can also speak about like technical difficulties, like being able to think on the spot if it happens that you encounter technical difficulties within your class. It's like, so that you don't waste time. And you know how kids are. Once they see that there's a problem, they think, oh snap, great, free period, and then the class is disruptive. So speak about all of that. It helps. Whatever it is, you will decide. Obviously, you know what your degree helped you with when it came to this. And then they asked me about what my strengths are. I spoke about good in communication, good listener, which helps with your students, because you must also remember that you're teaching students that are not so great in English. So obviously how they communicate with you won't be fluent. So you'd have to listen thoroughly for you to understand what they're trying to say. Being patient with them, not snapping because they're not understanding or not getting what you're trying to teach them, or you being impatient with them when they're trying to explain something to you in English. You can't do that, obviously. I also spoke about being kind, easily adaptable. Yeah, just to name a few. The next question is, what are the best qualities of an English teacher? It's basically the same as the previous question. Well, my answers are the same as the previous question, but obviously you elaborate thoroughly as to why. Why are you interested in teaching? Because they know that you don't have a teaching degree. So why all of a sudden are you so interested in teaching English in a whole new country where you know no one and you can't speak the language and you're far away from your family? Why are you interested in teaching? And you're gonna have to explain why you are interested in teaching. I spoke about wanting to impart life lessons to my students, making a difference in their lives that will benefit them for the rest of their lives. Obviously, once you know how to speak English, as we all know that English is a universal language, you are able to communicate with people from different parts of the world. Not knowing where your job, where you'd land up 10 years from now. So I spoke about that and my love for learning. Honestly, if you constantly teaching other people, there's one thing or another that you're learning from them. There is no way your lesson will end without you learning something, whatever it is. And then they spoke about classroom management. This is what I spoke about earlier on. And then I just spoke about having like a merit and demerit system. Classroom contracts where you and your students come to an agreement whereby they write what they want within the class and you have what you want within the class, and then you merge everything together so that everyone's ideas and what everyone wants is within one contract. So I spoke about that so that they also have a say. It's not like one-sided and it's like, because I'm superior. No, you must add those things because they like it when you involve kids. School code of conduct, focus on the good, encourage them. Even if like they do bad in an activity in class, you can like, when it's break time or something, spot them and tell them, well done, score, 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 you know, something, so that they see that you're actually interested in them and you're not constantly demotivating them. So that really helps. I spoke about that too. Then they asked me what my 5-year plan is. What would you do if your co-teacher made a mistake in front of the class? So I mentioned that you leave him or her to finish whatever they are saying and only correct them at the end of the lesson. Because if it happens that you correct your co-teacher in front of the class, they feel as if you are being disrespectful towards your peer or your colleague or whatever the case may be. So always, I don't know how many videos I've stumbled across where they always say, don't do it. So wait for the lesson to end and then correct them if it has to happen that the lesson is retaught, rather that, but don't correct them in front of the whole class. And then why Korea over other ESL countries? This is like the first question. So I spoke about how Korean is easy to learn, how strict they are when it comes to their educational system, and how in general their educational system is. Obviously I elaborated like further in. And how do you deal with being homesick? I spoke about how I would deal with being homesick. I did like thorough research when it came to this. Because I'm a person who actually suffers from homesickness, it was a bit tough for me. I even had like a mini panic attack one day when I realized that, damn, I'll be gone for a whole year without seeing my family, without seeing Samu grow, you know, milestones, all of that. Like, I'm so family based, family orientated, where I felt like, am I doing the right decision? Am I making the right decision? Is it worth it? And then obviously after constantly talking to my partner about it, he showed me things I wasn't thinking of and he was very supportive. And so I spoke about that within the interview and it really helps. Like, you need to mentally prepare yourself knowing that you're gonna be going through this whole application, because it's not like you can fly from Joburg to Cape Town within less than like an hour, within less than 2 hours and see your family. It's a whole new country. It's a whole new continent. You know no one, you can't speak the language. You will be stared at. They will stare at you. And like, it's just having to mentally prepare yourself for all of those things. And it's like, damn, okay, so I'm really going through with this. So yeah, those were all my questions. So it was a mix-up of the first time and the second time around. Remember that the second time around was shorter than the first time. The only difference was that I had to I had to fake teach. Yeah. I went through my application the second time around, got my results 2 days later this time. I had passed the interview, it was great. And the thing is, now I was in like a whole predicament of, damn, I just started a new job here in SA. And starting the new job, I really like it. It's a job for something I studied for. And I was like, oh, what to do. So I was on a 3 months probation with the new job. So I told myself that maybe when it's time to renew, I just wouldn't, and explain to my boss why. Obviously leave in good terms, but I was like, you know what, let's leave it until I hear, like, to the very end, because I might not sign, and then the same thing happens like it happened the first time around, where it doesn't go through. Months later, now I'm unemployed again. So the second time around, they were like, great, congratulations, you have passed your Epik interview, we will need A, B, and C from you. And then they had given us a specific date as to when I'd have to send through my documents. So everything was ready except for my PCC. I had to do a new PCC because the first one obviously had expired. So they had said that there's gonna have to be a new PCC done that's after February. And the one I did that I had already sent through was November, December, January, February, March. Yeah, so they wanted it fresh after February, that is like it's valid for 6 months. So I did it, but they specified a date as to when all my documents need to be sent. And I was like, my PCC is not ready. Like, as I'm recording this video, I haven't received it. And I'm talking about something that happened like a few months ago, like 2 months ago. So I couldn't. I'm here, I'm still in South Africa because of that. Mainly because of my police clearance. It's not ready. And then immediately after I had applied for one, Ramaphosa was like, dear fellow South Africans, we went up a level. So, which means another delay. It's been 2 months since I applied for my police clearance, still haven't gotten it, and that's why. So I spoke to my recruiter. I was like, yo, look, this is the situation. I don't know what to do. What happens now? She was like, unfortunately, you know, once you hear unfortunately, oh, hey, you must know. So she was like, unfortunately, then we would have to put your application aside and you would have to reapply if you wish to do so. When I read that email, I was like, oh, it's done. It's over. It's done. But it is what it is. I'm just grateful that I'm actually not unemployed this time around, receiving these news, and I'm not going to think about it too much. What is that sound? Hectic. But yeah, so I was like, you know what, I emailed her, hey Lisa, this is the situation, I hear you, what you're saying, cool. If it happens that I'm comfortable doing it the third time around, definitely please let me know. And then she was like, no problem. No, I was like, I'll let you know if I'm comfortable doing it the third time around. Please let me know when the applications for the spring intake for 2022 are taking place. And then she was like, no problem, just drop me a mail around I don't remember when she said I must drop her a mail. I must actually go through the email and read it again. Then she was like, drop me a mail and then I'll send you all the things once again and then we'll go through it. I was like, okay, great. Maybe it's just not meant to be now, but eventually when I'm actually supposed to go and it's my turn to go, I will go. And I was like actually okay with it. Like I was okay about it. It didn't sting like it did the first time because I'm doing also what I love. Like I don't have a problem with my job, and I'm employed in South Africa where I still am with my family and have time to see all the milestones Usamu could possibly be experiencing, you know, all of that. But yeah, there's a lot of negativity when it comes to the whole Epik interview experience. People will tell you how so scary it is, where you ask yourself, is it even necessary for me to go through all of this? The documentation requirements of it is a lot, hey, like it's a lot. But once you've sent through and you heard that you passed your interview, you're like, okay, it was all worth it. It really was. So I would advise you to gather all your documents in time before the application. I actually need to gather more documents because now some of my documents have expired. But yeah, like gather all your documents. I will make a video as to what documents are needed. Although there's like many other videos of the same topic that are out there, but I will like explain my experience gathering all my documents and sending them through. If you want, just comment down below if you want me to make that video and I'll definitely do so. So yeah, that was my whole Epik interviews experience, because it's not once but twice. God damn. But yeah, I'm optimistic. I believe that eventually, it may not be now, it may not be next year or the year after that, but eventually, if I still want to go to South Korea, it will definitely happen, because it was clear that I have what it takes if I did not just pass my interview, but not once but twice. So yeah, maybe I will go when the pandemic is over. That would be great, because there's a whole lot of money that you actually need to pop out now that there's this whole pandemic going on. Quarantining fees, it's just a lot. It's just a lot compared to people who actually left before 2020. So maybe I'll wait it out until the pandemic is over and then do it again. Who knows? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for getting this far into the video. Like I said before, make sure to like. It really does help. Thank you so much, guys. Till the next time.